How's it prowling, my Lion Pride Nation? How's it going? I'm Lyman Addict, coming to you with a new video. My first video in a month since my introduction. And within that time span, I've yet to know how to do an intro. It's fine, second video, 2 videos in, can't be 100% all the time, right? I'm sure you get better from here, right? Please say yes. So anyway, this video I figured I'd give an update. Kind of start out with showing what I've done between now and last month on my past video. Well, it's kind of obvious to see from my last video to now, I got my PC built. I need to stop looking over here. I got my PC built. I did it all by myself. I'm brand new, but yeah, it had it blown up, so it's going good. I hope it's going good. There's been a few rookie mistakes, a few hiccups, but it's running. It's running. I got OBS going, Streamlabs going. I've yet to set up anything for streaming yet. Hopefully soon I can get that set up. Hopefully by this weekend. This coming weekend, I would love to work on it this week, but I got work, I got a job. I would love to do this full time. But again, I got a job. I got no income. I got no income on this yet. But hopefully soon. Hopefully by this weekend, I can start streaming. If not, then next weekend. My profile will look like doo-doo butter till then, until I get money money back up to even consider doing any fancy stuff without free shit. But yeah, I mean it's been fun. It's been great so far. Progress is moving. That's for damn sure. So yeah, and of course, like I said on the first video, this week the YouTube here will mostly be for NASCAR content. I plan on doing reviews, reactions, news, my thoughts. Not that my thoughts matters in the slightest, but you never know. People might be curious what other people think, as they do. But anyway, that's been the update. So now let's get into the NASCAR news. So with first bit of news is probably the biggest bombshell of the season, of the 2023 season so far, and that is Kevin Harvick. It was reported this past Thursday, after roughly 23 seasons, Kevin Harvick is putting up the helmet full time in the NASCAR Cup Series. This was, it's my thought. Is it a shock? I mean, it's a bombshell. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of becoming. At least for the past couple of years, I think since I want to say since maybe 2020, 21, since ever since Stewart-Hass's performance has declined, I think the writing's been on the wall for a while. Mostly, of course, starting with, like I said, the performance, but also Ryan Preece. The fact that Ryan Preece was hired as a temporary fulfillment driver, kind of indicated that someone through the Haas was leaving, and of course, at first it was going to be Harvick, it is still, but as time went on, Eric Almirola put up his said he was retiring, so it was like, okay, maybe there's more behind the scenes than we know. You know, Almirola's gonna leave, Priest gonna drop to 10, then Harvick will somewhat pass the torch to Priest. Well, Briscoe's there, so I guess technically Harvick will try to like mentor Briscoe and Priest, but that's kind of asking for a lot for one driver, even for some like even with a championship caliber driver like Harvick, it's kind of a lot. Kind of like, you know, Jimmy Johnson in Hendrick Motorsports when he was the old guard. It was just him, and then of course a young Chase Elliott, a young William Byron, a young Alex Bowman, and you know, I guess Chad Knaus sort of, you know, paved the way. Jeff Gordon, of course. Of course, he's apples and oranges between two organizations and such. But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, it's not a surprise in the slightest for Harvick. I mean, it's really gonna suck not seeing him on track, and I mean, for us, you know, long-time NASCAR fans, whether you've been watching since the 2000s, like I have, I've been watching since I was a kid, or I've been watching since, you know, the golden era of Petty, Earnhardt, Yarborough. You know, it's you kind of grow numb at the retiring of drivers, especially these past couple of years. NASCAR has been losing a lot of stars. Of course, those like Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart. Now, of course, Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards, you know, sitting his retirement, and a lot of other familiar names like Greg Biffle, J.B. McMurray, Mark Martin put in his full on retirement rather than half retirement rather. Like eventually you get used to it, but this has definitely been a hard decade for NASCAR, losing so many big names. Of course, Kurt Busch being another name that just announced his retirement from full-time competition because of the car. I'll touch on the car later. But yeah, it's definitely gonna suck, like I said. But it's a bombshell again, yes. But it's not a surprise. Where I think things will go, I think Priest will go in the 4 car, because that's kind of been hit. That was the 4 car was sort of his ride. I mean, it's kind of hinted at before that Priest was going to drive Priest was going to drive a Stewart-Hass racing car, and everyone, of course, assumed right, it's going to be Harvick. However, another twist that occurred is Cole Custer. Finally, after since like 2015, 15, 16, 17, of being in the 41 car, they're finally demoting Custer. I haven't read on who's replacing Custer in the car yet, but it kind of makes you wonder if, like, okay, now it's like, who's gonna get the 41 car? Because I mean, like, Priest is going into the 4 car, I can assume. And then you got now you got an empty seat in the 41 car, and then you got Eric Almirola, who flirted the idea of retiring. I remember this past season, he announced his retirement. Then he pulled it back, saying a 1-year contract or something. Now it sounds like it's multi. Obviously, I'm not in any of those office meetings. I'm not, I'm just going by what I've been seeing and reading and hearing. But at that point, it's going to be 3 seats opening Stewart-Hass. Because Briscoe's saying Briscoe's going to be there for a while. Briscoe's not at breakout level yet, but he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. So with 3 seats now open, okay, so we know Priest is possibly getting the 4, and then that leaves the 10 and the 41. So that's Riley Herbst. I can only assume Riley Herbst. I'm probably butchering that last name, but anyway, I can assume Stewart's gonna bring him up into the, I want to say the 41, because Custer's being taken out first. Let me just make sure that had been confirmed yet. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I'm slowly catching up now. So Ryan Preece is gonna be the 41 car. Okay, so Ryan Preece is going to the 41 car in this coming season. So now the question is the 4 car and the 10 car now. With Harvick announced his retirement, and Eric Almirola, whether it's next year or this year, I don't know. But I'm going to assume that's a question for another year, maybe. But I can see it as very fair on if they can find sponsorships for that 41, because for a while the sponsorship has only been Stewart-Hass. Well, it's Gene Haas putting in his own money, and sometimes I think it's Tooties, the Tooties brand, Tooties company. It's a sponsor, yeah, but it's nothing like, I don't know. It's nothing like M&M's or Coca-Cola or Pep or Hunt Brothers or a massive company that will pay a whole season. A sponsorship is better than none. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a multi-billion-dollar company like I don't know, Pizza Hut or Napa or FedEx. Which I'll touch on that later too. But anyway, back to Harvick, and this is definitely a rebuild that Stewart-Hass has needed for a while. Because for the past several years, Harvick's been carrying the banner. I think up until last year when Harvick won 2 races back to back, but he didn't really perform. He didn't really perform before or after that, and you can argue his stats and the standings last year. Despite not winning, he put up incredible numbers for someone who didn't win. Which of course I'm not discrediting that, but in this new format, win is king. Wins are kings. It's almost more prestigious to win than to win a title. I mean, there's been people saying it's almost more impressive just to make the Final Four than winning the championship the championship itself. Which, I mean, they wanted chaos, and that's what they got. But Harvick put up incredible numbers for someone who hasn't won. Well, who had won prior to the 2 wins. Let me just clarify. Like 9 top 10s, 17 top 10s, 2 wins, of course. The 17Fs kind of hurt, but I mean, despite those DNFs, he put up some good numbers despite not winning the for not putting up like Logano's 4 or Chase Elliott's 5 wins. Harvick's been the banner up until last year, I should say, because he put up better numbers than Briscoe. Harvick put up 9 to Briscoe's 9 top 5s and Briscoe's 6. 17 top 10s. 17 top 10s and Briscoe's 10. I mean, like I said before, Briscoe's, he's getting there. I'll take it back when I said, Harvick's been the banner till last year, but even then, Harvick's performed better. But I mean, for the past couple of years, comparing the drivers Stewart-Hass has had, like, of course you got Harvick, who got a title early on in SHR. He got a bunch of wins. I mean, hell, a phenomenal 10 wins, 9-10 wins in 2020. Eric Almirola, who, don't get me wrong, he's a good driver. He brings the home clean as much as possible, but it's kind of mid-packer. He's kind of the definition of a mid-packer. There's sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. New Hampshire's his best. New Hampshire is his best track, and he has won at Talladega, but that can only get you so far. Especially in this format where, win is king, but again, if you ain't performing, it kind of becomes moot. Then you got Cole Custer. Speaking of performance, I mean, like this year he has no top 5s, 3 top 10s. That's, I mean, in equipment like SHR, who has proven to be a championship caliber team, that's awful. That is embarrassing, to say the least. Sure, him and Harvick had the same. Him and Harvick had the same DNFs, but Harvick performed a lot better. He's been more consistent. He doesn't have he doesn't have Elliott numbers in terms of wins or Logano's, but he was still consistent enough to make the playoffs. Barely, because the winning win scenario came down to the 3 slots remaining at the time he won. But I mean, he still got in, 2 wins back to back. Regardless of win, you still got him, right? So I mean, there's no excuse at all. Almost, especially in today's era, or in today's NASCAR era, where the chassis is the same, the motor's the same. All the cars are essentially the same except for a few setups. To where it's almost, the new car has more. The new car has more strain on the driver. Not as much downforce, it's harder to drive. I like that, but at the same time, if you have guys like Harvick and Briscoe, take Harvick out. Take Harvick, a champion, 20 years into the 20 years in NASCAR, take that away. But you have Briscoe, who's been in the Cup Series for what? Only a couple years, and yeah, again, Stewart-Hass performing, but he's finally found victory lane. They finally got stuff figured out. They got a system going. Six top fives, 10 top tens. That's not necessarily Final Four numbers. Final 8 maybe, but I mean, considering the past couple years of SHR, that's a good sign, a definitely good sign for the future. Because holy hell, for the past years, it's only been Harvick. Harvick came to Banner, now he's retiring, and I mean. And it's like, yeah, you could say that, well, Priest was in the Cup Series and didn't perform, but besides the plate tracks, what makes him so special? Well, yeah, Priest was in the Cup Series in the 37 for JTG Doherty, but it's JTG Doherty. Like, I mean, they're not the bottom of the barrel of Chevy teams, but they're like I mean, let's be honest, they're like a B team. No disrespect or anything. It is what it is. You got, it is what it is. They're not the best team, equipment wise. I mean, Stenhouse been putting the most that he can out of the equipment of whatever track he can. But it's still JTG Doherty. And he's going to Stewart-Hass, which last year, proven to still be a race-winning team. Like, sure, the past couple years have been painful for them, but they're still, they're still able to win. And I can only assume that, going from JTG Doherty was kind of here, that Stewart-Hass is, over here. Again, considering the past couple of years, Stewart-Hass is not the pinnacle of 4 teams. That's Penske Penske mostly, which I think even Penske kind of falling off right now. But, having a driver like Chase Briscoe, who's fresh and new and putting up those numbers, and getting at least getting a win, that's great. That's fantastic. Of course, not to get ahead of myself. We still have to wait till next year or this coming season to make sure that's not a fluke win at Phoenix. I mean, which to his credit, he's been doing great. I mean, 6 top 5 and 10 top 10 is nothing to scoff about. So he's being consistent. They're finding something. They're finally finding some ground, some momentum. But the question is, will that carry on next season? I want to say yes. That's kind of all I want to talk about. Mostly Harvick. I know I kind of rambled on different topics. I still need to kind of learn how to just stay on one topic and continue on later. But yeah, like Harvick retiring, it's a bombshell. As I said 3 times now. It's a bombshell. It's a huge one. But it's been coming. And at this point, with all these drivers retiring, it's kind of just it's not really a big surprise. The dude's over 40 years old. He's he's the oldest in the Cup Series. I mean he's the oldest in the Cup Series in terms of age and longevity. Kurt Busch being right there with him, but Kurt Busch is retired too. But don't get me wrong. Do I think he's capable of pulling a Mark Martin and racing to his 50s? Absolutely. hell, Jim Johnson's coming back part time, but you know, you know, I don't see a reason why he or Jimmy can't pull a Mark Martin, race into their 50s. But, I'm sure with his son coming up through the local scene, Kean, and as I've been hearing, he's been doing pretty good. I'm sure, in retirement, he wants to focus on his son's racing. Keep him focused, keep him, on track to eventually, basically, continue on to what his dad did. But for now, I'm sure that's what Harvick wants to do. Of course, I can't speak for Harvick, but this is me speculating. But yeah, I'm sure focus on Keelan's racing is probably gonna be his biggest thing. Which, good, great. Yeah, as it is, that's kind of expected. It's not really a big surprise, but it's still gonna suck. I mean, a big name like Harvick, a big name like Kurt Busch, big name like other big names that's been retired this past decade. This past decade, Stewart, Jr., Johnson. Yeah, Johnson's coming back, but for part-time again. It's a bombshell, and it was a bombshell. It's probably when it happened, but with there being so many retiring in such a short time, it kind of just becomes numb. You kind of get to a point where it's like, you got to take a big sigh. This sucks, but life moves on. We've been through this. This is the fourth, fifth different driver, seventh different driver to sixth different driver to announce their retirement. A big name to announce their retirement. A champion, a former champion to announce his retirement. But yeah, I hope he does well this season. I hope the retirement doesn't get to his head. I mean, it's gonna suck, but it's gonna be very weird in 2024 without a Harvick in the name until Keelan comes up. But I'll be interested to see how he does this season. Knowing Harvick, the closer, happy Harvick. I'm sure he'll make the season one hell of a season if he can. I just hope his final year don't turn out like Jamie's, DW's, where kind of just, kind of becomes one of those things where it should have retired earlier, earlier than it should have, but which I have full confidence it won't. I mean, this is Harvick we're talking about. Dude can freaking, despite his age, despite the car, he can find victory lane one way or another. Whether it's doing it the dominant fashion we know of Harvick, or using the bumper. But yeah, I have so much to talk about. I have so much NASCAR stuff to talk about. But this is one video. I have plenty more videos I want to make. Probably not tonight, but yeah, as I said, this is my second video. Definitely suck when Harvick retires, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Great. I don't know how to do an intro. I don't know how to do an outro. I guess that's like a package deal. But yeah. So I guess that'll be that. Yeah. for the video. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Please be nice in the comments of my second video. I'm still learning. I swear, I'm trying. Yeah. Hope you guys see you in the next video. Keep rowing, keep hunting, keep. I still gotta learn this outro, so I need to like say into a mirror or something. How to do outro. Anything else? Yeah, that'll be it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell, all that other stuff from the bottom that people do that I'm probably beginning. Share, like, all that stuff. I can think of anything else. Alright, time to edit. Great. Alright, see you guys. Bye. See ya. I don't know.